Since long, bangles have been an important ornament of women in many parts of the world, particularly in the subcontinent. In the South Asian region, women of almost every age like wearing bangles. The ancient city of Hyderabad lies in the southeast of Pakistan, and it is the only city in Pakistan where glass bangles are being manufactured. Hyderabad is known as the city of bangles. The mild climate, even during peak summertime, is the reason that it's the hub of the distinctive bracelets. The craftsmen are highly skilled and trained in this region, especially in this art form. Following the partition of the subcontinent in 1947, immigrants from India belonging to the bangle industry settled in Hyderabad and established a small-scale bangle manufacturing industry.
इसमें ये थर्ड जनरेशन है जो इस वक्त मैं हूँ आपके सामने.
I'm the third generation in bangle making. My forefathers started this business in Firozabad and carried it on in India for 50 years, after which we moved to Pakistan.
50 साल के बाद ये सेपरेट हो गया.
Bangle production has been in the Siddiqui family for many generations. He says the family faced many hardships at the time because no one was interested in wearing bangles when there was barely any food to eat. But the family managed to establish the first glass bangle industry in Hyderabad, called the Indus Glass.
शुरू के अंदर क्योंकि लेबर नहीं थी तो लेबर को फिर
The biggest problem we faced was lack of labor. So we shipped our close relatives who were working in glass factories in India to Pakistan to come work with us. We had 50 quarters in the factory, so the labor came along with their families and settled here.
Now there are about 20 glass bangle manufacturing units in Hyderabad and nearly 250,000 people directly or indirectly involved in the manufacturing, trading, packing, and transporting of glass bangle, making it the second largest glass bangle industry of the world. Manufacturing glass bangles is a lengthy and tough process, where the laborers are mostly exposed to extreme temperatures, and they would earn a mere $1 a day. The highest paid skilled laborer would get $5 for a day's job. The traditional art of producing bangles is flourishing in the streets of this ancient city and is being carried forward from generation to generation. But most of the laborers live below the poverty line. Their plight must be recognized to further develop the industry. Most of the work is done inside homes as cottage industries, where bangles are cut, designed, and colored. Broken glass is the major raw material for the bangle industry. The glass is sorted out before it is mixed with materials ranging from silica, manganese, soda ash, and various pigments. This mixture is then put manually into a furnace fired up around 1300 degrees centigrade to melt the broken glass. Once the glass melts, it is gently wrapped to an iron rod where it gets its initial bracelet form and gets the shape of a spring. This coiled glass spring is then cut with a diamond tool that separates the spring into individual bangles. The coiled bangles are then shifted to homes where women and children would connect the broken joints on open flames. 70-year-old Rahmat Bibi has 12 children, 7 daughters and 5 sons. All her daughters work at home, enjoying the spiral ends of
सारे बच्चे इसी में ही हैं. काम बंद हो जाता है All of us combined earn around $200 a month. If we give it more than our bodies allow, we can get up to 250 a month, which after paying gas, water and electricity bills only allows us to survive. We have health problems, but we don't get compensated for them. We have no means to see the doctors and pay their fee.
Due to power outages, an 8-hour working shift ends up being a 12 hours one. And when a day's work doesn't come, the family has no means to put food on the table. Rahmat hopes for a better future for her daughters.
I wish I had the means to educate my children. I wish they had had a better future than mine. From where I see it, everything seems bleak. Luck is rarely on a poor man's side. It's just endless hours of hard work with less than desirable compensation. This is how my life began. This is how my children's life will end, not knowing whether there'll be enough to lay out the next meal on the table.
Lubna is Rahmat Bibi's youngest daughter. She wanted to become a doctor, but their circumstances were otherwise.
I've been working in the bangle industry since I was a child. I work day and night in extreme heat with my family. We barely get to celebrate any festivals, religious or otherwise. I gave up education because my parents couldn't afford it. I may not get married because my parents can't afford it. I just hope if I ever get married, my children have a better life than me. I hope they get to study. I hope they get to eat. I hope they get to celebrate.
And for the women who would adorn their wrists with these ostentatious pieces of art, they would perhaps never know the hard work of thousands of men, women and children that goes into the creation.
Bangles add to a woman's beauty. I have bangles to match every piece of clothing I own. I'm not aware of the bangle making process, but I do know the process mostly involves fire and heat.
Bangle industry is a part of the fashion business, and with the present unstable economic situation in Pakistan, the top priority of everyone is to feed themselves and their families.